Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this particular video, I'd like to discuss my thoughts on episode 3 of the anime series, Galilei Donna. And this was a very intriguing episode, especially from a story and character point. And the thing I love about this series so far is that they have mechas all throughout, but the mechas aren't taking precedence to the story and the characters, and that's the kind of mecha series I dig. You know, I don't actually dig these highfalutin, full-action series where you just have mecha on mecha battles all the time, every single episode, and very little characterization. This series is much the opposite, and I love it that much more for it. Now, essentially, the girls, the main trio, are still on the run, and you see a lot of, sort of interactivity between them as far as how they're playing off each other. They really don't like being cooped up in this little floating goldfish ship that is now named the Galileo. And it's especially interesting to see Kazuki, who is sort of the more silent and introverted of the sisters, being very much just near a breakdown. She's really having trouble. She's a fish out of water, no pun intended, and she's really having trouble reconciling everything that is happening to her. Life is moving much more fast than she's accustomed to, and she's been very much taken out of her life. And so it's just, trial and error all through this episode for her. She's taking a shower. The eldest sister barges in, Hazuki, looking for, the kitchen and everything. She is just starving her brains out and trying to figure out how to find food on board this vessel, and, running into Hozuki, who is trying to just keep the pieces together and everything like that. And I love this interaction between these sisters. Of course, they have led sort of singular lives. They're not used to being a family unit, a familial unit, and the parents having broken up is somewhat to do with that, and we find out a little bit more about their parents as well. I had immediately assumed by the sort of pool of blood we see the mother laying in at the end of the previous episode that she must have been killed, but in fact, she was attacked or some such and left amnesiac. She does not remember, her family. She doesn't remember being chased after by these people and all that stuff, but she does still retain her intelligence, and they're still utilizing her in this company she was brought to, and it was in fact a company. We find out more about that in this episode. It is the Adney Moon Company. They specialize in basically methane hydrate production, and they have this whole sort of back-end black market side to their company called Messier, which is led by the son, the heir to this company, Roberto Materazzi. He is the one that they basically encounter, come under attack by in this episode. And it's very intriguing to find that there is so much sort of commentary on the modern world and big businesses in the modern world caked within this fantasy story that is all based in science and truth and that kind of thing. I love that it is a play on reality and a stemming off of that. And you have a lot of tropes that are going on in this series, as I say, with this black marketeering, with these sky pirates being made to be scapegoats by this back-end side of Adney Moon Company so that they can corner the market. They can make tons and tons of buck, and you have the Black Ganymede running interference by the end of this episode to effectively save these three girls, these three sisters who are just, they're completely overwhelmed by what's going on. But what's very intriguing is, of course, they have Anna Hendricks alongside them, giving them hints, kind of leading them in a certain direction, and I have to wonder if her being there is some, malevolent force to be later revealed, or if she is actually on their side, rather than just sort of exploiting, their knowledge and everything. We find that by the end, Hozuki has, in fact, some old, artifacts that retain from Galileo's personal stuff, and within these is a drawing, the first of those 6 that was said to be missing or lost or what have you, each of which contains clues, as we found out last episode, to a potential 7th and this inheritance, this Galileo Tessero, whatever that is, that all of these corporations and pirates and everyone are so consumed with finding. And of course these girls, who it all circles around, want little to do with this, if anything. But you do have, very surprisingly, Hazuki, the eldest again, basically saying, we have to do this. We have to live up to our father's words and find out what this is and not let these evil people have it. So I'm just thoroughly compelled by this episode once again. I can only hope things will, get easier for Kazuki, who is, as I say, just at the boiling point of pressure. She's breaking down. She's missing her old life. And I hope that these sisters will, through this story unfolding before them, through this chase that they will have to lead merrily down the path, that somehow they will unite and they will become a family once again, and hopefully, maybe, uncover the secrets of the Tesseract. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of this episode if you've seen it. Otherwise, that'll be it for me, and I'll catch you later. Peace.